Well, Doug Marrone said earlier this week that he wanted 3 turnovers in the first 2 minutes. He got 3 turnovers, however, 2 of them were Syracuse turnovers, and it ended up being 7. What happened to this offense to make them have 7 turnovers?
It's a shame, Andrew, because in the last couple games we had seen a little more success in Niche in terms of hanging on to the football. We know Greg Paulus is still, getting into the flow. Obviously, now nearly halfway through the season. He's only got 7 games left before the end of his college career, it seems. But he seemed to be making progressions, especially with Northwestern and Maine. He had very successful games. This was a step back for him. He turned the ball over 5 times. On the other side, B.J. Daniels, who's a backup quarterback for South Florida normally, not one interception.
You can't really explain. 5 turnovers. What can you really say about it?
If you turn it over a couple times, maybe it's a mistake or whatever.
And the biggest thing, AJ, is they got 27 points off those turnovers. When you give in the other team 27 points and you throw in a pick 6. You're not going to be in the game. And we said Syracuse, the big key to the game was they got to win the turnover battle. If you told me they got 3 turnovers in this game, you know what? I usually say defense, good job. They're going to give up their plays, but good job. But you know what? If you give it back 7 times, it's not going to be very productive.
3 takeaways, very good, but when you end up -4 in that category, in the takeaway giveaway category, it's not good. And those 1 or 2 interceptions, maybe an unfortunate mistake that they made, but 5 times is way too much.
5 interceptions for Greg Paulus. You guys talked about it a little bit. What happened between weeks 1, 3, and 4? He was a completely different quarterback.
Well, as much work as he did the last 2 weeks, today was just a big step back. And there was a point in that third quarter or the second quarter where I really looked at him and I said, you know what? He looks very comfortable in the offense. He's in full control of the offense. But in the third quarter, it just went to waste. And you look and it's like, oh my God, was the guy scrambling? He's uncomfortable, and it's just a big step back for him.
Yeah, and he was doing a lot of work in the first half, and it wasn't that bad. And it wasn't until that third quarter, for some reason, when they came out in the second half, they looked lackadaisical. He made a few bad throws. We saw that one touch throw he tried to make, just like floating it over the offensive line, right into the hands of the South Florida defender. He didn't seem sure of himself coming out in that second half. He seemed very timid, and although he had a lot of success with Mike Williams in that first half, the third quarter and beyond, it wasn't there for him.
Was it a matter, do you guys think, of Jim Leavitt pretty much out-adjusting Doug Marrone into the second half? Because you said it, the third quarter, the first play pretty much set the tone for the entire quarter, that 85-yard touchdown pass. After that, Syracuse was pretty much done.
Well, first of all, you got to figure a guy like Jim Leavitt, a very successful coach with South Florida, knows.
Longest tenured coach in the Big East.
There you go. And I bet he watches film, as does everybody else. And, what is Syracuse's biggest weakness? And we're going to talk about this a little bit later. The secondary. So what does he come out and do in the third quarter? The first play from scrimmage after the kickoff, he goes deep. He goes an 85-yard bomb. Daniels to Carl Mitchell. Not a Syracuse guy within 5 yards of him. As you see him run into the end zone there, it wasn't even close.
On that play, Kevin Scott has gotten burned by Eric Decker from Minnesota, got torn up by Landis Williams last week, and this week Carlton Mitchell went to work on him. So you know what? Kevin Scott can't win with him. He can't do it.
He went to work on him, or he did work on him?
He did work on him, whichever way you want to look at it.
He was completely stunned. And the secondary, the Scott brothers, these guys have been burned all season.
Can't win with them. Can't do it. Can't win with the secondary.
Not like that, no.